Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we welcome you to the Season 5 playoffs here in Division B. It's the first round of the playoffs here between Havoc and the Fridge. Havoc sitting in the number 3 seed and the Fridge sitting at number 6 after all was said and done in the group stage. Joining me here today, my name is Clutchy. Joining me here today on the color side is John. What's up, my man?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm glad to be here. This is going to be a great game.
All right, so we're lined up for a good one. So the group stages were set up in 3 maps per play, but now it is a best 3 out of 5 to win it inside the series to move on. The winner of this match will be playing the number 2 seed, Microsoft Excelsior, in the semifinals. So the big question is, which one of these two teams will move on and advance? Havoc comes into this as the number 3 seed, and let's take a look at how they got here. Real quick, if I can bring it up. And it looks like, so Havoc's way, Havoc has themselves a 3-0 start, so a great series for them, beating Encore 3-0 in their map, and pretty much just sweeping the entire way through 3-0 all the way through. Now that they become the number 1 seed out of Division B's Group B. And on the other hand, you're going to take a look at the Fridge coming out here as the number 6. And the Fridge comes out with 1 loss, but their record is 2-1. Their only loss coming against Overwatch. And so we will be seeing if they can beat out the team that is 3-0. So what are we expecting from these two teams right now?
Well, it looks like on Havoc, we got a sort of semi-dive composition coming out the gate, assuming these compositions are what's going to be coming out. We also have on the other side, it looks like they're going to be running a Sombra Hanzo DPS mix, which will provide for some interesting plays coming up here.
All right, so first map here is the City Center coming up here in Oasis, our first of 5 maps, and it is a 5-map set, so really interesting to see how these teams deal with it. So Oasis, not a very popular pick amongst the teams, but it is the set map, so we'll see how it works out in their favor. Everybody charging in, but the first one to get there is Big Head, and right now it's just going to be a push and shove to start off.
All right, so it looks like Havoc has taken the high ground. And this is going to be tough for the Fridge to take them out of this position, but eventually Havoc's going to have to get onto the point to try and compete for that control percentage. So we'll see how this unfolds.
The Fridge already down low, getting themselves at least halfway to the first strike on the point. There's 2/3, and they've already got the first strike, so Havoc completely ignoring the point whatsoever, and the Fridge has themselves the first strike, but already just a push and shove, and in this case, it's just, right now, it's all Havoc's to win. And the team fight there is going to land them in their favor, which means it's pretty much over. Quella goes down in the hands of Morton Salt, and Havoc has themselves the first strike on the point. Very fast switch to 13% only for the Fridge.
Yeah, and you'll see one of the big plays that happened out of that was you saw the dive coming from Big Head and Bryce T onto the Zen, the werewolf in the back there. So by getting that early pick, that big healing pick, they were able to, watch the Fridge crumble under the stress that they had.
So we're going to see the Fridge come in. A little bit of a change here. Johnny Crust moving on over to the Winston, hoping to get a little more of a dive thing going along with the bubble, trying to contest as well. Rocket Barrage comes in from Foiler. Santa Maria! What a play from Foiler. Triple Rocket Barrage kill for Havoc, and that's going to put them way in the lead already. And it's just Bryce T to sweep up house. So what a play from Foiler, and that should give Havoc a lot of momentum going into the next fight.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have to go back to spawn after that one. Huge play by Foiler on the barrage. Really doesn't get cleaner than that. So, yeah, they're going to have to come up with a new approach to this next team fight. But that being said, the Fridge does have the ultimate advantage coming into this next fight. So we're going to see how Havoc approaches this scenario.
Like you said, ultimate economy up in the advantage of the Fridge, although the Diva does go down, so Quella's going to lose out on her mech. So it's 3 ults right now, currently against 2, but those are only 2 support ults. And still got a Dragon Strike available for Thunder. Foiler starts off with a kill on Fox, so this is looking good for this Pharmacy combo right now coming from Havoc. And it's pretty much just sweep house at this point. Everybody on this team working together. 85% on the way here. And Havoc showing off why they're undefeated in the group stage so far. Final 10 seconds here for the Fridge to try and come back from this. They've got one more team fight remaining. The question is, can they get there? 97%. They're looking to dive. They're looking to try. And is he going to get there? Overtime is forced as Fox comes in. Try the proper range to come in. Coalescence is all going to be brought out by Cat. Here comes the D.Va self-destruct. Not going to get anybody in the background. Self-destruct also comes on the other side as well. Gets Johnny crushed in the background. Now the Dragon Strike going to come down, as well as the Dragon Blade. Actually, only the Dragon Strike comes out, and Havoc is going to have themselves the win here. Final try, Quella, the only one to hold on to the point at this time. Fox, the only one left. The team is wiped. Overtime clock will run, and that will do it. Havoc, 1-0 here on Oasis.
All right, so one of the things that I saw there was in the sort of leading up to that last fight, we saw Quella, the D.Va, getting out demeched early, and that was a big problem because after that they started to trick a little bit, and it became hard for the Fridge to stabilize going into that next fight. But they were able to, bring it together and get onto the point, but it wasn't enough to really bring it home and get any control percentage out of that team fight.
So it's now 1-0 in favor of the team from Havoc. They're looking good so far, and they look very dominant, only allowing 13% on the Fridge's side. So what does the Fridge have to do to try and cool off here and try and cool off Havoc?
Yeah, I think they just got to really solidify what their composition was. They kind of switched between a couple different things. They start off with sort of death ball hybrid, but then they switched to the dive, and it was a little too late. They just couldn't get together. They really misused their ultimates as well. So we'll see how they approach this next map here.
So next map here is the Gardens, and already you can see Havoc moving in to their place, and it's going to be just Havoc winning this battle entirely. One left, takes down Johnny Crust in the background. The Farrah combo trying to be worked hard here by Fox and Cat, but is it going to be successful? No, it's not, and the Gardens already taken down by Havoc, so they're already on their way to winning this first map very easily and very cleanly.
Yeah, the Fridge needed to back out there a lot sooner. Right when the Rhine got booped off by that Lucio, they should have been starting to back out and regrouping. I think the Rhine got a little separated there, so I think the Fridge needs to move together as a team a little more cohesively going into these team fights.
So already we're going to see here just a full-on hold. Bryce T out of mech right now, but getting it very slowly, 2% at a time here. But it's still the Fridge letting a lot of time waste off this clock here, trying to regroup. But the question is, can they get there in time? Fox is going to start off with a kill on Bryce T. So that gets rid of the D.Va. Staggers a little bit. K-Birds with a good res, though. That's going to get Bryce T back in the mech. So we'll see how that helps them out in this process here. We're going to see the fight come on in the middle of the Gardens. 3-1 advantage here for Havoc on the point right now. And it's just going to be K-Birds just trying to fly around here, trying to avoid Johnny Crust. Big Head right there to take him down. Halfway home for Havoc to take down this first map. 3 ults going for Havoc so far. Rocket Brush coming out from Fox. Is he going to get anybody? That answer is no. Self-destruct comes in. Gets at least a werewolf in the process. And right now it's looking good for Havoc. 4-2 on the point right now. And this is all Havoc's to win. And this is just going to be a clear point with the Primal Rage coming out from... this is going to be the Primal Rage coming out from Big Head, and right now it's Havoc's winning the battle right now.
Yeah, and so one of the things I'm seeing here is that the tank line for the Fridge don't seem to be really moving together. With those dives, the Winston and the D.Va really have to go together when they attack a target, but you saw the Winston just jumped right on in. Quella on the D.Va did not really follow suit. So after that, things just kind of fell apart from there. The dive didn't really do what it was intended to do, and you saw that team fight collapse pretty quickly.
All right, so final fight here. Final try for the Fridge here to try and save some face and take this to game 3 in the University. The clock already starts running, though. They're halfway down. Somebody needs to get on the point, and finally Quella's right there to push it in. Now, Transcendent's going to be used already by a werewolf, and this is just going to be a battle of wits and strengths at this point. Here comes the Riptide. Foiler with 1, Foiler with 2, Foiler with 3. Santa Maria! What a play from Foiler. That's 3 kills. That's a huge rocket rush. That's going to clear out the point, and that will do it for Havoc. They win here on Oasis 2-0, very clean in the second round of 100-0. 2 wins away from moving on to the next round.
Wow, what a map. That was insane. I think, going into these next fights, the Fridge really needs to get their tank line on the same page. I kept seeing the Winston diving in without the D.Va, and after that, things just kind of fall apart. As tanks, you got to stick together when you're doing those dives, and wasn't really seeing that on that last map.
So Havoc is going to have themselves win number 1. You can already see the cards sweeps the board, and that's how dominant they were in this game, leading 2-0, only giving up 13% in that entire round. And that was back on the city center. That was when the Fridge first had their attempt, and then Havoc just completely sweeps after that. So the score 1-0 right now. So what does the Fridge have to do in order to win this next map?
Well, I think one of the main problems they have is, like I said, the diving tanks, but also they have to find a way to shut down that Pharah. Both of those maps, the Pharah got huge barrages that really just made things difficult for them to have anything on their team, their pushes. So shutting down that Pharah, being more cohesive, moving as a team going into these maps and these team fights, that's going to be really important. I think if they're able to do that, they'll have a lot more success in the upcoming map.
So our next upcoming map is once we get everything settled here, we're going to have some subs playing out here. First off, Quella is going to swap out from the Fridge side. Quella's going to sub out, and Trelina is going to come in to play for the Fridge. So, and we all know this, one sub can make a difference for them. So, how getting a tank in for another tank? I mean, if Trelina is a tank at this point, what are we to expect?
Well, hopefully we see a little more cohesion. You know, that's been one of the themes going on for the Fridge. Hopefully that will, you know, maybe the Winston and the Devo will be able to work a little more. But it seemed like, for whatever reason, the Fridge was very hesitant to run dive. Both times going into those two maps on Oasis, you saw them running that sort of Rhine Diva combo. But as soon as they saw what Havoc was running, they realized that they had to switch to a dive. And it seemed like they were just uneasy. So maybe by switching out that other tank, they'll be able to have a little more cohesion and hopefully more success going into this next map.
All right, so we're going to actually have two subs out here. It's going to be, first off, I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, it's going to be Trelina switching out for Quella. That's the first one. And then the second one is going to be Spaz. It's going to be Spazerwatch taking over the play for Fox. So Fox coming in with a little bit of a Genji play earlier on. And also was trying to play a Pharah, but not in comparison to Foiler. That didn't work out too much in their favor. So if Spazerwatch comes in, takes over Fox's play, and this could be the big difference. Havoc doesn't necessarily need a sub on their side because they've been playing so cleanly, but Rialto, I mean, some teams may have their advantage in the control point maps, and then some teams may have their advantage in the escort maps. Does the Fridge have what it takes to take on over Rialto?
Right. You know, Rialto is one of those wild card maps a little bit. It's one of the newer ones in Overwatch. So, you know, we've seen teams working out different strategies. I don't think we've seen Rialto being played in Owl or much of the pro scene. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit up in the air. There might be some more room for the Fridge to come up with some creative compositions, things that'll throw off Havoc a little bit to give them that edge. And maybe bringing in Spazerwatch for Fox will have a big impact as well. You know, we'll see what happens. But, you know, Rialto is going to give a chance for these teams to really demonstrate some of their creativity, you know. So we'll see what these teams can do.
All right, so we're going to take a break here as we get everything set up. Our next map coming up with Rialto right now. Havoc in the lead, 1-0 after sweeping Oasis. This is the Overtime Champions Community NA PC Playoffs Division B. All right, here we go. Round 2 coming up here. Rialto is our next match, and it is going to be exciting here because we have new subs coming in. Like we were saying, Trilita comes in for the Fridge, as well as I believe Spazerwatch comes in for the Fridge as well. Havoc side, I don't think they had any substitutes, so this will be interesting to see what happens on their side as well. But they've been playing cleanly so far, so no subs needed for them at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I'm excited to see is the tank switch, right? Trailina came in for Quella. Maybe there will be a little more synergy coming into this map for the tank line. We'll see what they can do, and we'll see what Spazerwatch can do on DPS. I believe that's the position he's coming in for. So we'll see what these two teams can do. I'm really excited.
I'm really excited as well because Rialto, one of the escort maps that are usually not that popular to either pick or ban. It's usually popular to ban, but not a very popular pick to play. And this is one of those. And there's so many opportunities for so many plays to happen. Why is it such not a popular map?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is this first choke that teams come up to with this payload. So you have the bridge, you have this big corner right here. And it's a really great spot for teams to set up and get a lot of boop kills off the edge, and I think that rubs people the wrong way a little bit, and some people just don't like it. Personally, as an Orisa main, I like those halts off the edge. It's fun for me, but I think this first choke is one of the things that trips people up, and I know that some people also don't like the streets phase. It's a little too open and I think it's one of those maps where it's newer. People are still trying to figure out exactly what the best compositions are to run. So we'll see what these teams can come up with. I'm looking for some creativity coming from these two teams. So we'll see what they can do.
Let's see what they can do. First up to attack is Havoc, and they're going to look to run pretty much this is interesting. A pirate ship combo here looks to be 3 DPSs, 1 support. The only support there is K-Birds, who gets taken out by Fox right away. So no more heals, no more reses coming up in the couple of 10 seconds. And right now, Fox going off here, gets the poison trap kill on Morton Salt. So this is looking good for them right now. 1 left the Bastion on the point right now, still getting up some damage for the team, but right now, and it is working. Havoc is getting themselves a few kills, and 1 left is going to keep on the point as K-Birds comes back to heal and do some damage. So Havoc cleanly getting around the first turn, maybe even around the first 2 turns right now, and the Fridge just cannot find an answer.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of stabilization. You saw a good early pick from the Widow, from Fox onto one of the supports, but other than that, they weren't really able to stop the steamroll. It doesn't seem like they were too prepared for the Bastion.
Now, interesting enough, I think in the background I see here, it's going to be the foiler from Hanzo. Seeing the Widowmaker, and Widowmaker don't know where that went exactly. Fox is going to try and get around here and try and get some snipes, but right now it is working in the Fridge's favor. Finally gets rid of the Bastion, and the only one left alive is going to be Foiler on this Hanzo, and he's just going to back off for now. So it is the Fridge's to win finally, and so Havoc's got to find an answer now. 2:45 on the clock.
Yeah, I got a little nervous when I saw Johnny Crust going up there with the Rhine, dying early to the Bastion, but it seems like that was enough pressure to get the Bastion out of the way and for them to really stabilize here. So good play coming from the Fridge.
So from the pirate ship combo, we move on to a regular standard 2-2, and Morton Salt wins the battle. Finally, Morton Salt wins the battle, gets revenge against Fox. And right now it is Havoc's to win here. 2:15 on the clock. You're going to see 3 ults coming in. Coalescence is going to be brought out. Cat takes down Morton Salt. Right now, Deadeye's going to come out, takes down Caper. That's a big pickoff. There are no chance of heals, no chances of res coming up for Havoc. And this is going to be the Fridges to win one more time. So 78 meters down the line. Havoc can't find the rest of the way.
Yeah, so you saw Johnny Crust pushing up there with the Rhine right into the Orisa's face so that, they can get past that Orisa shield, put a lot of pressure, because Orisa does well in the distance, Orisa wants to keep a good amount of space in between their shield and the enemy team. So by Johnny Crust pushing up, they were able to put a lot of pressure in, and the kills were able to come in.
Merge Strike at the same time as a Dragon Strike comes down the middle. Self-Destruct is going to come out. Trelina, right against the wall, not going to get anybody there. Self-Destruct also going to come out in the background. Behind them gets a Werewolf, so this is Havoc's to win right now. They're going to try and get in the background here. Trelina goes down. Bryce T going off here with the Diva. Gets 3 of the last 5 kills here, and this is going to be Havoc's to win. Pushes up the payload, passes the 78-meter mark, and this should be it, and it's going to be Havoc's point to keep. They're going to at least get the first point here in Rialto.
Yeah, I like this a lot. You saw some great adaptation coming from the Fridge. They were doing that that original, or sorry, from Havoc, my mistake. You saw some switches coming in to do a dive composition rather than the Orisa sort of more, slow push. Now they're doing more of a dive, so good to see some adaptation and see some creativity coming from this team.
So Havoc's going to come up here. Two of the players now on fire. Big Head's got a Primal Rage as well as being on fire. Foiler we saw on the Pharah earlier, but now is playing the Hanzo, but still, nonetheless, still on fire right now. As Foiler's going to try to get some Storm Arrow shots off, try to scare everybody off on the Frigid side. Not really going to work in their favor, but it's still enough to push up this payload even further. So Havoc has all the answers. The Fridge just being pushed back all the way here.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of free cart right now. Dragon Strike coming out. We'll see if he can connect.
Dragon Strike connects with Fox in the background. Also gets Johnny Crust way back when. And so this is, again, 2 kills down, 4 to go for Havoc to clear out the point here. 2:30 on the clock. They've got plenty of time. Trelina gets DMAxed by the hands of Bryce T. Foiler goes down. Self-Destruct's going to come down in a great position in the back. Gets down a Werewolf again. So Bryce T, I don't know if he's intentionally aiming for that or not, but a Werewolf just down 2 times by a Self-Destruct here on Rialto. And again, this payload moves up even further. Johnny Crust is going to have to back up, and Havoc, point number 2 is theirs to keep.
Yeah, you saw some great plays coming in from Foiler. I believe Foiler was the Pharah from the last map, so this is somebody that the Fridge is really going to want to shut down. They've been playing some great Overwatch, making some big plays. They're going to have to shut him down coming into these next team fights.
And you can see the tank plays here from Havoc as well. Big Head's still on fire here with that Winston. Still going off and is really just winning the fights here. Earthshatter's going to come in. That's 2 people going down. 1 left as well as Bryce T. Both going down. Transcendence is brought up to save some healing out for the team in red. Deadeye's going to come out for Spazzer Watch as well. Foiler goes down in the hands of the Deadeye. Dragon Strike comes in, not getting anybody there. Self-destruct on both sides actually coming out. Trelina's not going to get any kills. Primal Rage comes out for Big Head, try and clear out some points. And now it's Havoc's to win here as Foiler takes down Johnny Cross. 1 tank down, 1 to go on Trelina. Now the Riptire also going to come out for Fox. Gets a double kill on Foiler and 1 left, and Havoc can't do any more. Gets the 3rd kill, and Fox coming out here, 3 big kills, and it's going to be enough for the Fridge to defend this point.
Yeah, that was a great play coming in from Fox with the Riptire. But if you saw that the Fridge came in here with a big ultimate advantage, and they popped almost everything in order to secure and stabilize this point. So, it was a great play, but they used a lot to get that to happen.
And so, speaking of ultimate economy, 1 ult left on each side. The infrared sight's going to be used right away by Mortenstall. But here comes Havoc, knowing where their position is exactly. Foiler's got the kill on Cap, but not before Cap is able to res up Fox. Self-destruct's going to come in. Where's that coming from? That's going to get Fox in the background as well. So Fox, just as soon as he's res, goes down as well. Deadeye, what a shield there from Johnny, or sorry, on the other side from Big Head. That's going to be enough to block out the Deadeye. And right now, Havoc's got themselves turns 1, 2, and 3 coming into this payload. Turn number 3 is going to get captured, and now we're in the home stretch.
Yeah, once again, you saw Foiler getting some early kills there in that team fight, and so that allowed them to push ahead, and so we'll see what they can do coming up to their last few seconds here.
Fox with another try on the Riptire, gets Mortenstall as well as the DMAC on Bryce T. Self-destruct in the background as well. 1 left, goes down because the Transcendence not kept up in time, so Trelina gets a double kill on 1 left and Bryce T. So that's going to back up the Fridge just a little bit more. 1.5 minutes left to go. All the Fridge has to do is hold this for another minute 20, and they've got themselves a hold on the 3rd point. Yeah,
that was huge. Trelina needed to land a great Diva Bomb to make this stabilization happen. Now they get a chance to really, solidify their tank line a little bit, really push up and deny some of that space for the against Havoc.
Havoc's only got a Dragon Strike as well as an Earth Shatter coming up in the next fight. The Fridge, however, has an Earth Shatter as well as a Valkyrie, so not much damage going down. Earth Shatter's going to go out. That's a huge shatter. That's 3 people going down. Johnny Cross is going to help out the team here big time, and that's going to help out take down 1 left in K-Bird. So both supports going down for Havoc, and that's another 40 seconds off the clock, maybe another 10 as well. Havoc's going to back up. Fridge has another win in their hands.
Yeah, and that's the exact sort of thing I'm happy to see, because I was talking about how they were using their ultimates earlier, how they were popping a lot of them at the same time. That was just a clean 1 ultimate used, didn't need anything else, got the shatter off, and they were able to keep that stabilization.
This may very well be the final fight here for Havoc. They got 1 more chance to push this to point 3. And now we're going to see the Valkyrie come on. Fox uses that Riptire, takes down Mortenstall in the background. Deadeye comes out for a Spazzer Watch, takes down again both supports on 1 left and K-Bird. So right now, this is the Fridges to win. They've only got 2 tanks left to go. Nobody's going to be able to get to the point on time. That is it for the first try on Havoc's side. No chance of a tie here. The Fridge has the door open. 2 points and the home stretch left to go for them to win.
Yeah, that was some huge plays coming in from Fox and Spazerwatch on the DPS. You saw the McCree Deadeye coming in, getting up a couple kills, and an early pick, I believe, by Fox really helped to open up the fight. So it was good to see the DPS picking up and really getting some crucial kills on that last team fight.
And we finally see some life in the Fridge as well. Finally gets 2 points, only allows 2 points, but finally in that home stretch, some light coming out from the Fridge, gets the kills that they need, especially coming out here, big time kills on the Fridge side, getting both one left as well as K-Birds, both supports going down. And when we know this, but when both supports go down, you've got no chance at winning a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I really also like the way that the Fridge was using their healing ultimates. You know, they never popped them at the same time. It was always one and then the other in the next team fight. So it was good to see those ultimates being spaced out a bit and really making sure that they were using their ultimates in a more even fashion. So going into this, I think that the Fridge still needs to find an answer for Foiler. They sort of shut him down towards the end there, but really he's been a big problem for them this whole matchup so far. So looking for an answer for Foiler. I think there's a little more synergy coming between Johnny Crust and Trelina, so that's good to see. But we'll see what these two teams can do coming up in this next fight.
All right, so 15 seconds left to go. Beauty of the game, you can't say anything about the Fridge's lineup until that door opens up. Havoc, on the other hand, you can check out 2-2-2 standard. Bryce T and Big Head, respectively, on the Zarya and Reinhardt. Morton, Salt, and Foiler are going to try out the double sniper combo. And again, one left and K-Birds on that support. And now comes out the team from the Fridge here again. It's pretty much a mirror comp here, except Spazerwatch, the only one to change here, keeps on the McCree, which is very effective last time. 2 double kills on the Deadeye, which should work out in their favor, rather. Morton Salt already gets the kill on Fox to start, so this is a 6v5 unless any reses come up, but that's not going to be in time. And so right now, coming around on a little more aggressive plays here from Havoc, unlike what the Fridge had in their first round. They're getting up the payload, but Havoc making it a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, we saw an early pick coming in from Morton Salt, but then Big Head just kind of kept backing up. They should have pushed forward a little bit.
But Foiler comes in with the double kill on Johnny Crust, and as well as Cat, make that 3 out of the last 4 kills for Foiler. Foiler already on fire. We're not even 40 seconds in, we're not even 1 minute into this round of the Fridge, so the Fridge going to have to back up here, and Havoc's got themselves a first good defensive hold.
Yeah, so that was really impressive from Havoc. You know, you saw them get the early pick. Then they did back up a little bit, which initially I thought was a mistake, but looked like it was a good play by them. It ended up allowing them to stabilize a little bit and push that back.
Dragon Strike going to come right down the middle on the payload. Not going to get anybody there for Foiler, so one ult down, but Big Head's got 2 kills on Fox and Johnny Crust. Make that 3 kills on Spazerwatch, so Big Head's got a big-time play. 3 kills in the last 4 for him, and Havoc, once again, another 30 seconds down, but the Fridge can't find the answer.
Yeah, and you know, I mentioned at the beginning of this that this was a chance to see some creativity coming from teams, and we see for the first time today, we have Hammond, or Wrecking Ball, coming out onto the field, and they're running a triple tank composition, 2 healers, and then the McCree. So this is really interesting. Haven't really seen this a lot in the pro play, obviously since Hammond's not in there right now. So we'll see how this goes down.
Earthshatter's going to take down both tanks as well as the Earthshatter comes in. Deadeye's going to come out. 1, 2, 3, Santa Maria. What a play from Spazerwatch. That's 3 Deadeye kills and make that 4 kills on Morton Salt. So 4 out of the last 5 kills for Spazerwatch. That's going to be the team kill, and that may as well be point number 1 for the Fridge. The Fridge finally opens the door, and Havoc backing up needs to reset.
Yeah, Spazerwatch has been having some great Deadeyes this game so far. It seems like it was a good substitution for this map for the Fridge.
Graviton Surge is going to come in as well. Gets 3 people in the background. Dragon Strike comes down in the middle, but it's too late to the party as Big Head gets 2 of the last 4 kills. And right now, Havoc finally finds the answer. So not exactly the first point for the Fridge. They're stopped just short of the line. And so the Fridge is going to have to back up one more time, but a good hold by the Havoc after that team kill. They've got the momentum back. 1:15 on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. It got a little dicey there. It looked like that the Fridge might even get it to the that last point, but you know, they were able to stabilize. Havoc was able to put up that shield, get in there, get some swings, and they pulled it out.
So now 60 seconds remaining on the clock. Landmines are going to get dropped ready in very early on there to protect the team a little bit there. So again, Hammond, the new character being allowed here. Self-destruct is going to come out for Trilina. That at least gets Bryce T. Now the Wrecking Ball comes in for Fox, trying to do some damage. Spazerwatch coming out with this McCree, doing very well for himself right now. That's 3 out of the last. That's 3 kills, 3 to go here if you're the team on the fridge. This payload moves up even further. The only one to contest is K-Bird right now with that Valkyrie. Valkyrie's going to drop, and that's going to be it for K-Bird. So this is going to be Havoc's to lose here, and the fridge's point to win here. They've got 3 minutes on the clock to push this to point number 2.
Yeah, and that was a great Diva Bomb from Trilina. You saw it was a great positioning because the Zarya got caught out of position. You know, they should have been behind the Rhine Shield. Maybe they thought they were in the clear by being behind that pillar, but it wasn't enough. Gets the early pick, and then from there, they just kind of crumbled. The Rhine Shield broke, and, you know, it was all downhill from there for Havoc.
So we're going to see here 2:25 on the clock left to go. They need to get it up to the second point and 82.62 meters to take this map and tie the game up at 1. The fridge needs to do some work. Havoc's going to try their best to try and push it back, but right now this Hammond causing a lot of problems. Earthshatter's going to come in right in front of the shield though, so that's not going to get anybody. Transcendence also popped on for 1 left. And now here comes the team from Havoc already. Earthshatter coming in. 4 people going down. That's going to be 1. At least that's going to be the team back on Trilina's side. Foiler goes down. Foiler takes down Cat in the background. That's going to be the entire team going. Athena calls team kill, and Havoc has themselves a huge win on this payload point with 150 left to go.
Yeah, that was a huge play from Big Head. Not only did he stop Johnny Crust shatter from going through, but he landed a massive shatter coming back. So, you know, that was a huge play from Big Head.
Big Head with a huge Earth Shatter. Yeah, like you said, big Earth Shatter as well as a big protection from the other Earth Shatter. So this is going to be interesting. Neither side has an Earth Shatter to go, but still keep in mind, Spazerwatch has this Deadeye that's been very deadly so far with 3 kills earlier on in this round. Here we go. Valkyrie's going to be popped off by by Cat here. Both Valkyries are going to come out. Self-destruct right in the front of the shield. Gonna get 1 left at least. And right now it is the fridge is starting to work on their game here because they have the advantage in a 2-to-1 trade-off. Deadeye's going to come out for Spazerwatch. Not going to get anybody there, so it's going to be Spazerwatch actually does take down K-Bird. So right now the fridge is winning this fight. The only one left to go against is this Widowmaker, which Trilina takes down right away. So the question is Havoc going to contest the point? That answer is no. So the fridge, the door open, 2 minutes left to go to take this all the way home.
Yeah, and they popped a lot of ultimates to do it, but ultimately it worked out. They got the value they needed to secure that point, and they can move forward onto the next section of the map. And coming into this, we see Havoc's got 3 ultimates coming up on the Transcendence as well, so they're going to have a big ultimate advantage. We'll see what they can do with that.
So right now we're going to see, like you said, Graviton Surge is going to come in. That's 3 down. Earth Shatter also being brought down. That's 4 people going down. And that is going to be pretty much it for ults for now, but Havoc not getting any answers after that, or sorry, both sides really getting no answer after both huge ults coming in. And now the Earth Shatter also coming in. A Werewolf and Fox are going to go down by the hands of Big Head's Earth Shatter, and that is going to be it for this fight. At least Havoc has the win entirely in their hands, and the fridge needs to find an answer and needs to find it fast.
Yeah, that was another huge play from Big Head. He was able to rebound from that shatter and get, I think there were 3 people who got knocked down from the shatter. So that allowed Havoc to stabilize and sort of put an end to that push from the fridge. And they did it without using too many ults as well. So great plays all around.
2 ults left for Havoc on the Transcendence as well as the Valkyrie, the fridge side. Valkyrie as well as a Deadeye. Keep in mind for Spazerwatch that has that Deadeye, a Sound Barrier as well as a Meteor Strike up for the fridge as well. So the fridge has the ultimate advantage. The question is when and if they're going to use it here on their side. They're going to try. Fox is going to try and charge in already. Gets a few kills here. Meteor Strike finally comes in. Is it going to be in the background? Yes, it will. Spazerwatch, somebody else. Triple kill again for Spazerwatch. And that's going to be huge for them. 3 down, 3 to go here for the fridge to clear out the point. Bryce T as well as Big Head who goes down. Bryce T the only one left to try and take down the tanks here. And now they're going to get it around. The golden box of victory sits in the middle, right there inside the museum. And now it's up to Havoc to hold on to the point. 10 seconds left to go, and we're going to see a huge fight coming up.
Couple early kills from the fridge, so it looks like they're coming in with an advantage into this.
Coming in with the advantage, self-destructing to clear out the point, gets the double kill on K-Birds and Bryce T, and we finally see the Fridge come back here. The Fridge opens up the door, let the cool air in. The Fridge has Rialto, and they tie up the game 1-1.
Yeah, and one of the things I really liked from that was Fox brought out the Doomfist. Not always a popular pick, but when it's played well, it can have a huge impact on these games. So it was great to see them pull out the Doomfist, get a couple early kills on that last push with them. We also saw Spazerwatch just absolutely popping off, as you can see from the play of the game right there. But he was doing that this whole game. It was really great to see. So well done to the Fridge for taking this, but it was a hard-fought battle that we just witnessed here.
So the broom will not come out of the closet today for Havoc. It is the Fridge that closes that closet door on the broom, and we are going to see at least a good series coming up here. The Fridge wins Rialto in a big way, 3-2, and now Havoc's got some work to do to try and relieve themselves here. I believe one person is out for now, but we will see who comes in to sub for Havoc unless their player comes back. But what a win by the Fridge to start off their game, and now they have the momentum on their side as we go into our next map. The Assault 2CP map coming up is Hanamura. So what a win here. What a win by the Fridge. Havoc looked like they had that even with 2 points, but then Fridge comes in and Spazerwatch comes in with huge plays from their side.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw Havoc. Havoc had some really great plays as well. Even though they lost the map, they really put up a good fight. Big Head was absolutely doing a lot of work there. And, you know, Foiler was a little quieter come that second round on the Fridge's push. So it looked like they had some sort of an answer for him a little bit. Foiler wasn't able to get as much done. But, yeah, just all around some really great plays. It's going to be exciting to see how Hanamura goes.
Mm-hmm. And big thing here, we go on from, it's very different now because now you go on from an escort map that the Fridge just won. Now you go on to an Assault 2 CP map, and this is going to be interesting because Havoc did sweep up Oasis 2-0. So control points may be more of their style, and if that's the case, Hanamura may be their map to win.
Right, yeah, this is going to be a really interesting one. Hanamura's got that really tough first choke that you gotta get through, so it'll be interesting to see how these teams set up to protect that and keep that first point. But we're gonna see what happens here. It's gonna be a good matchup.
Mm-hmm. And so let's take a look here as we are waiting to start our next match here in Hanamura. So basically, we went through 3 weeks of group stages. Every one of these teams played, and let's go back and take a look at what these teams had to go through. First up, in Division B, Group C, the Fridge is your team to watch in that group. Group C, first off, they played Overwatch. That is their only loss inside the group stage series, losing to them 2-1, and the Overwatch comes out as the number 1 seed in their group. On the other hand, you have the Fridge beating out Furbyger 3-0. As well as Mayday in a very close match, 2-1. So they come out squeaking by with a 2-1, we should say the least. But they are in the playoffs, and they are your number 6 seed. Taking a look at Havoc, though, they have a better way and a lot more momentum to come in here. You take a look at Division B, Group B. This is where Havoc comes into play. First round against No Mercy, absolutely no mercy against them. 3-0 there. Round 2, Havoc takes on Slipstream, beats them there as well, 3-0. In round 3, Havoc winning the entire group stage 3-0 and entirely in a +9 map differential, and you can't get any better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for giving a little background to that for some of the new viewers who might be coming into this competition. It looks like we have a really good matchup here. It's going to be interesting to see going forward how these two teams compete and going into the playoffs like this.
All right, so it looks like we are ready to play. So our match wraps up the game, and we move on to Hanamura. We move on from Italy in Rialto to Hanamura in Japan. So, and Overwatch, a very international game, hoping to get the eyes of every international person. And of course, that is why there is an Overwatch World Cup coming up, which I personally am excited to watch because you have plenty of good teams. There, especially, you have Canada, USA, and South Korea to watch out for because those are all the teams that a lot of the players came from the Overwatch League that we just saw in its inaugural great season.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any favorites going into that matchup?
Do I have any favorites going in? Well, If we take a look at what we saw back in the Overwatch League, South Korea's got a really good team going. You have, I believe, Carpe is in that team. They have, and Carpe was in the grand finals. You have a lot of grand final team members in the South Korea team, but I think USA is a little more prepared. Prepared this time. I believe since they have Sinatra in this DPS lineup, they have a better shot at this than they had last year. And the good news for the USA too is they don't have to play South Korea in the beginning brackets. They can play, the only way they play South Korea is in the final. So I don't necessarily have a favorite. Canada's looking good as well with a few of their Overwatch League players, but I think USA and South Korea are the two favorites right now.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite going into it is Canada. You know, you love to see XQC back in the juice. I also am a big Surefour fan, big Gladiators fan. So, and also Jane is just a great coach. I think he's going to have an impact on Team Canada as well. But all around, lots of really good players coming in. I'm really excited for the matchup. It's going to be a good one.
And let us know in the Twitch chat as well who your favorite team for the World Cup is. 'Cause to hear that, let's see who you're representing. All right, so here we go. Here in Hanamura for Japan, very standard 2-2-2 coming out, or actually this is going to be a 3-3 coming out for Havoc. So they're going to try and play on the aggressive side. The Fridge is going to play the standard 2-2-2. Fox and Spazerwatch on the Junkrat as well as the McCree respectively. Everybody else pretty much staying the same as they were to start. But here comes Havoc rushing through the gate entirely. This is what the 3-3 does. They're rushing this point entirely. And right now, they've got 4 people in the bell room. That's going to get at least the first tick for them. And if this doesn't work, they still got plenty of time to take the other 2. Right, but right now, it is working in their favor. 1 left. Gets the kill on Trilina after Bryce TD Max. And right now, the Fridge just doesn't know what to do. Havoc's coming in aggressive. They're playing it all the way here. Johnny Crust, the only one in the bell room right now. Or Fox is going to come in as well. Fox takes down 1 left, but not before Big Head there to end the rain. And right now, it is Havoc's to win, and this is over. Havoc's going to win the point here with 3:10 on the clock.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you want to do with a composition like this. This is also known as a GOAT composition, that triple tank, triple support. So you want to go right through that choke. I mentioned earlier that that first choke is something that's really hard for a lot of teams to get through. But with that GOAT comp, you just smash right through, get onto point as soon as possible, and take the fight to the point. So even though I believe Big Head got picked off a little early, potentially, but other than that, they really executed that perfectly.
So now we're going to see another aggressive play right through the doors. Coalescence is going to be brought out already. Earth Shatter, Transcendence is also going to be popped out. Spazerwatch has that Deadeye ready to go. Caber's down. And so this is going to be advantage for the Fridge. Now the question is, can they clear out the point? They've got at least the first tick for Havoc. Now the question is the rest. The Fridge is going to come out swinging here. Bryce T gets at least a kill on Trolina. Johnny Cross right there. Graviton Surge coming out. The question is the follow-up here for the rest of the team. It's not going to be much. And the Fridge right there to stop the attack of Havoc. So they're going to have to back up. Fridge gets their first good defensive win.
Yeah, and just like the last matchup, you saw Spazerwatch absolutely putting a stop to that. You know, that can be really dangerous when you have the steamroll coming in. Goats Comp just secured that point, so it's always dangerous, but Spazerwatch perched up on that top left, got the Deadeye off, got a couple kills, and really put a halt to that. So that was huge. Questionable Graviton coming out from Foiler there. It seemed like the team fight was dead, but he used it anyways. So that's a pretty big loss coming in to this next fight.
Riley's going to start us off here for Havoc. That's going to be 1 left using that rally to for this next fight. So here we go. Havoc's going to try their shot. And the Riptire is also going to come out from Fox. Question is, where is this going to land up? Sound Barrier is going to drop off for Wolfric. Now the Self-Destruct as well, down the middle. This is all Havoc's to win right now. Trilina does get the kill on Caber. Self-Destruct downstairs isn't going to get anybody. That gets at least the first 2 ticks. 1 person left on point is Spazerwatch. That clears out the point. Nobody getting there. And Havoc's aggressive play gets them 2 points and a lot of time to clock here in Hanamura.
Yeah, that was a great play. You saw they continue. So Havoc continued running the GOAT comp up to the top right. They decided that they needed to get the enemy team off of that perch, get Spazerwatch out of there, get him a little out of his comfort zone so that he can't run something similar to what happened on their last attack. But that was huge. They got him off the top. They pushed him down, secured a couple kills, and they were able to just take it home from there. The Fridge weren't really able to come back with anything significant. So all Havoc's point, and they're going to have 5 minutes and 14 seconds, a huge time bank coming into this next fight.
So huge bank here for Havoc. Like you said, 5:14 on the clock. And usually in the first round, you see teams lose time after 4 minutes, but this time Havoc's got themselves an additional minute 14, which could be huge because that's like a quick play game at this point for even 1 point.
Right, and that's the thing about some of these 2CP maps is that while yes, the defenders have that spawn advantage, 2CPs are super snowbally. So if you can really make something work for you, if you can get something like a goats comp really working, it's huge. The spawn advantage almost doesn't even matter. So, and we saw that happen right here. We saw that with the snowball kind of coming in for Havoc, they were able to just get on through, get onto the point, and secure the rounds. So there you have it.
All right, so a little bit of a different choices here as we see the team compositions coming out for Havoc. Can't say anything yet. Fridge, as their team has not come out of the gate yet. Havoc's, though, switching it up a little bit. 2-2-2 is their standard comp. 1 left on the Ana, though, not the Zenyatta that we've seen from 1 left before. And Foiler going to bring out the Reaper, going to stay on the ground here. Wolfrick's going to try the air comp here with K-Birds on the Pharmacy comp. So this is going to be interesting to see. Already, Wolfrick's got a kill on Cat. That's a huge kill, so they got to wait another 10 seconds for the Mercy. And that's a huge kill. That wasted at least 20 seconds off the clock to start. Yeah,
that's a big setback. And when the enemy already has time bank set up for when they go back and attack, that's bad. That's bad news. So hopefully they can come back from that, but that's a tough loss right there.
Fridge not playing the 3-3 rush that we saw earlier from Havoc, so they're going to play a little standard 2-2 here, but the question is, can they go in their favor? You can already see Big Head already 9/10 of the way to his ultimate, and we're going to see if that works in their favor. Wolfrick winning the Pharmacy battle here against Overwatch. Earthshatter's going to come in, gets 2 people in the background at least. Question is the follow-up here. Big Head gets the swing as well as the fire strike on Johnny Crust and Fox, and this is going to push the Fridge all the way back. So again, Havoc with another push. We're not even 1 minute in the game already, and Havoc's won 2 fights.
Yeah, that was a big play from Big Head. Pretty aggressive, but it got the job done, and Wolfrick has just been popping off on that Pharah, so good to see. And, I think they really got to come up with an answer for him, and they're going to try the Widow. So Fox is going to take over Widow, going to try and get that Pharah out of the equation. So we'll see if they'll be successful in that.
So right now they're wasting a lot of time on the clock here. Even if they were to get the point right now, they won't have much pair to Havoc's time. So the Fridge has to find an answer, and they need to find it soon to try and bank up some time. Trelina's going to get through the door first, try and get some kills with the Diva. Try and get at least some damage on this Pharmacy combo that's been working so well with Wolfrick and K-Bird so far. Foiler's getting almost died there. Earthshatter comes in. Transcendence popped as well, but 4 people going down actually with that Earthshatter. But the Transcendence is right there. Earthshatter comes in. Big shield there from Big Head. That's going to save a lot of their players. And right now, just no answer coming from the Fridge. They can't seem to get through the gate. Finally, we're going to see Johnny Crust move in, but he's all by himself down there. No heals available to him. Big Head right there to swing it away, and this is Havoc's to win more time. Rocket Barrage going to come in as well as the Death Blossom at the same time. Wolf's got 2 kills before Foiler's able to spoil the party. And so Havoc, again, Athena calls team kill, and again, Havoc winning this fight. 1:40 left to go on the clock in the Fridge. All they can find on the telephone right now is the dial tone.
Yeah, so that was really interesting. You saw Trelina actually came over that top window and secured the kill onto the Pharah. Pharah was rezzed. The barrage came off because of the res, and it really put a stop to that push. But big pick from Trelina, but they couldn't capitalize it. And it's going to be interesting going forward because they don't have a lot of shield break. They're really putting in a lot of resources into taking out the Pharah. But by doing that, you're completely ignoring the choke, getting through that choke. So we'll see what happens here in this next fight.
Coming down already on the charge. What a charge there by Johnny Crust. Earthshatter comes in. Both of them are going to go down. Spazerwatch now brings out the Deadeye. That's good for them. Wolfrick and Bryce T go down. Earthshatter as well. Trelina and Cat are the ones to go down with it. Now the Mercy is left alone. Foiler's there to get 3 out of the last 4 kills for them. Self-destruct comes in. Good shield there by Big Head to keep them alive. Trelina the only one on the point to try and contest, but Trelina is going to be backed up here. Foiler's going to get at least a lot of the damage here. D-Mex and Trelina loses the battle. So again, the Fridge gets the door shut on them. Havoc has the answers. The Fridge can't find any.
Yeah, this is a really epic tank battle going on between Johnny Crust and Big Head. But it looks like this time around, Johnny Crust is going to get the edge out in that battle.
Graviton Surge going to come in. That's at least the first take for the Fridge here. The question is, follow on the Graviton, much happening. Fridge is going to have themselves a try at the point here, but right now it is Havoc's to win all the way through because they've got the kills that they need. No chat, no reses, no heal, big heals right now. K-Birds is the one to heal everybody again. Cat has that Valkyrie, but not using it as of right now. We hit overtime, and this is going to be a battle of wits and strength at this point. Ult not available to the Fridge. Havoc have 3. And right now, it is actually the Fridge winning this. Earthshatter comes in, but a big kill by a Werewolf to take down Big Head. And now it's going to be a battle between the Reaper and the McCree, which is won by Foiler. Death Blossom to take down Cat before Cat can get there. And Havoc one game away from moving on to the semifinals as they win here in Hanamura 2-0.
Wow, what a match. Towards the end there, that was just really crazy. You saw that the Fridge tried to really take advantage of the fact that Havoc had lost a couple people on that last team fight, and the Fridge knew that they had spawn advantage, so they tried to push in a little early, but that might have been their downfall because they went in without a full team, tried to, get the advantage on the fact that they had that spawn advantage, but it didn't work out. They weren't able to get, and Foiler absolutely popped off at the end there, securing some major kills off the Earth Shattered by Big Head. So really big plays happening at the end there. What a match. This was great.
What a match by both sides as well. So Havoc back on away. Let's go over the recap for those of you just joining us. We welcome you to Season 5 NAPC playoffs here in Division B between the Fridge and Havoc. The Fridge comes in as the number 6 seeded team, and Havoc comes in as the number 3 seeded team. But so far, it's been a great series. Back on Oasis, Havoc wins that game in a clean fashion, 2-0, only giving up 13% in Oasis. The Fridge, on the other hand, comes back to rally themselves in Rialto, winning that game 3-2 after stopping Havoc very close to the end of point 3. Havoc then comes back in the game you just watched in Hanamura, wins Hanamura 2-0 after almost fully holding in the first roam, only letting up 1 tick, and Havoc has themselves the momentum. They are now 1 game away from playing Microsoft Excelsior in the semifinals. They are the number 2 seed, so if Havoc moves on, we'll be seeing a great 2 versus 3 setup here. The next map to come up, though, is Numbani. This is a hybrid map between Assault and Escort, so a little bit of 2 things that Havoc and the Fridge like. The Fridge apparently likes Escorts. Havoc apparently likes the 2 CP maps. Only problem, the control point is first and the Escort is after.
Right, absolutely. And you saw that Havoc really, as you said, did excel on those control point maps. They really like to run some of those beefier comps. They really liked the triple tank, triple support goats comp. They run it really efficiently. That might help them secure the first point on Numbani, and then they'll probably have to change it up from there. But we'll see how these 2 teams can adapt to what the other likes to run, because at this point they've gained some information about how each team operates, and hopefully they can use that to their advantages.
All right, so we are going to see here if the Fridge can come back, and we're going to see if the Fridge can come back here or if Havoc takes the win here. I believe we're going to take a break real quick here on stream, just catch a break a little bit. So we'll be right back. You're watching the NAPC playoffs here at Division B of the Overtime Champions community.
I'm here where endless meets the end. Do you see me? I'm hidden here again. Your whispers found its way, calling me to stay. I'm standing at the edge, but something always brings me back. All the voices in my head reminding me of what I have. If I fall tonight, you can bring me back to life. If I fall tonight, you can be my saving light. lightning in my veins. Now they see me, and I'll never be the same. Your whispers found its way, calling me to
Oh, I don't know if that's
you can be my
that's what I tried to say.
I'm standing at the edge, but something always brings me back. All the voices in my head reminding me of what I had. If I fall tonight, you can bring me back to life. If I fall tonight, you can be my saving light. You can be my saving light. You can be my saving light.
All right, here we go. Round number coming up here. Numbani is our next map and may very well be our final map as Havoc leads the series against the Fridge 2-1. And this is the Fridge's last chance to take it to our final map. And if this is taken to the final map in game number 5, it is going to be, I believe, if I'm reading this right, it's going to be Lijiang Tower for the control point. So we're going to see if the Fridge can win this out. And again, this is a hybrid map, so this combines two of what both of these teams like. Havoc really seems to really like the control points, and the Fridge really likes to play the escort maps. But the Fridge's only problem, they got to get through the control point first, but they're on the defense to start off.
Yeah, and I'm really interested in this because two big substitutions came in. We saw Quella coming in for off tank and Thunder coming in for Fox on the DPS. So we see two major switches, and it seems as though Havoc has remained the same throughout this series. So we see some switches. We'll see how that happens. Last time, there seemed to be some miscommunication between the tanks. So we'll see if that can be sorted out on this next time around. Sorry, there was miscommunication with the Fridge's tanks. But some of the things I'm looking to see here is if the Fridge can continue to enable Spazzer Watch, because Spazzer Watch has been having an absolute monster game on the McCree, especially with those dead eyes. I'm looking to see the Fridge have their tank line a little more stable. But then on the other side, Havoc, I'm looking for Foiler to come up big again. Foiler's been kind of hot and cold on some of these maps, but when he's hot, they're really hot. So looking to see Foiler come out of a shell a little bit on this map. Big Head to continue making those plays. And yeah, we'll see what happens here on Numbani.
So Numbani, here we go. 20 seconds left to go on the clock. Let's take a look at the team comps here. Pretty much standard 2-2-2 coming out from the Fridge. You're going to see Thunder, who subs in for Fox, like you said, playing up as the Genji. Spazzer Watch going to keep on the McCree. That's been so effective so far. The big thing for the Fridge, though, they do not have a Mercy to play. Cat is going to play the Moira, as well as a Werewolf on the Zenyatta. Meanwhile, Havoc pretty much staying with what they know. Wolfric on the Pharaoh, Foiler on the Hanzo, and everybody else pretty much stays the same as their tanks. So this is going to be interesting to see what the Fridge pulls off here. But Havoc's got themselves a try at the first attack already. You're going to see the Pharaoh already coming out. Wolfric trying to get some explosive damage as well as some high point damage here. But right now, it looks like everybody's fighting upstairs. This is going to be a fight of push and shove at this point because nobody has ult. So this is just a little way to start off here. I don't think Johnny knows that Big Head's right behind him. So Big Head, actually, Wolfric's going to take down Johnny Cross. This is going to be Havoc's fight to win here. And already you can see it's a 4v3. One left is going to take down Thunder, and the only one left is Quella. is going to get demeched, and it goes down at the same time. So really, Havoc pulling out the structures here. They've got 3 minutes on the clock. They're going to have at least 5.5 to go to push this up to point number 2.
Yeah, that was a really interesting play that happened right there, because Overwatch was actually all alone on that left-hand side. So the DPS were able to see that Overwatch is 1 a prom, but 2 completely alone. So they went after him, but then the tank line for Havoc actually went for the supports. They kind of did a little bit of a dry push onto that top ledge, tried to make them a little bit uncomfortable while the DPS took care of Overwatch. So that really opened up the fight for them onto that point.
So 5 minutes left to go here on the clock. We're going to see the point being pushed up already around turn number 1. And so this is going to be Havoc just pushing the Fridge all the way back. And Havoc creating some havoc on the field right now because everybody going down. This is a team effort right now for Havoc. K-Birds gets the res on Wolfric, so this is going to be huge for them right now. And again, this payload having no trouble, constantly on the move. And this is, again, Havoc's to win. The Fridge needs to find an answer right now.
Yeah, those were some great staggers coming in for Havoc. Big Head just collapsed on that Zen at the end there. But you also saw Foiler really popping off there, really getting some good final blows on the Fridge, and that really kind of wrapped up that team fight. It was a pretty clean engagement for Havoc.
And a very clean second point as well. No trouble whatsoever for Havoc. They've got 5:50 on the clock. Alt economy, though, going to be put to the test here as the Fridge has all 6 coming up for them. Havoc has 5 out of the 6. Wolfric, the only one alone on the ultimate board that doesn't have any. First to start off, Self-Destruct comes out down the middle. Santa Maria Quella with the triple kill. What a play. Pops off like she said she would earlier. Gets Foiler, Big Head, and K-Birds goes down with the Self-Destruct. 1 ult down, but that's all they need to pretty much push back Havoc. And the Fridge has a great first defensive hold on the third point.
Yeah, they needed that to happen. Big Head was getting a couple of kills on their own right there with the dive with Bryce T. You know, by having that big Diva Bomb there to stabilize, they're able to slow things down, you know, work the engagement at their own pace.
Earth Shatter comes in. That's going to be huge. No Transcendence either. Here comes the Deadeye's going to come out. Dragon Blade is also going to come out from Thunder, so 1 ult left to go, and that's going to be the Coalescence from Cat. In the meantime, Ultimate's going to be used by Havoc here. Not going to get anything going, but it is Wolfric that takes down Johnny Crust after putting up the shield to defend his team. 2 ults left to go on the side of Havoc. That's a Dragon Strike as well as a Primal Rage. Big Head's going to try and push up here, and it is working in their favor so far. That entire circle is cleared out to their point. Final turn, and this is the home stretch. Very short home stretch as well. And so this is the final try. 4:30 left to go on the clock here for Havoc to push this payload up. They're going to try. K-Birds gets the res on 1 left in time, but not before Johnny Crust takes K-Birds down of any more chances on the heals or the res. So now it's the Fridges to defend. Quella's going to bring out the mid and try and slow the team down a little bit. Rocket Barrage in comes for Wolfric. Does take down Johnny Crust, but not much else going there. So Deadeye's going to come out. Watch. Can he get anything going down? Not really going to get anything going. Dragon Strike clears out the point down the middle. Thunder's going to just run through it with this Reaper as he switches on over. And now it's just the struggle of a push and shove. No more ults. The only one left, Johnny Crust with an Earth Shatter left to go. But even if he were to use it, that's going to not clear out the point in time. Johnny Crust has a few swings to keep on going here. He's going to go down. Cat, the only one left. Watch, the only one left down there as well. Watch is going to go down. Cat finally goes down as well. This payload moves up. And finally after, oh no, not yet. I called it too early. 1 meter left to go here on the point. And actually, the Fridge doing very well for themselves, staggering to the point where this clock moves even down further. But it is the Fridge's game to win, and they have themselves a great defensive hold.
Yeah, and Johnny Crust is really the hero on both of those pushes right there. Because, sure, he died kind of early, but he took out both supports both times he rushed in there. That really slowed things down for Havoc, and honestly, they should have popped as many ults as they did because it was pretty much lost right there when they lost both supports.
So very well could be the final fight here. The Fridge needs to defend this point. They were at 0.98 meters at one point. Now they've got 3.58 to work with. Self-Destruct is going to come right down the middle. That's going to be from Havoc's side. And it's going to be Bryce T not getting anybody there. Sound Barrier's going to keep a Werewolf alive as long as possible here on the point. But it's going to be them to win. Gets it moved up just a little bit more. Watch, the only one left. And not yet because Thunder comes in now. Rocket Brush comes in to clear out the point. And finally we see Havoc winning the point. But what a hold. Kudos to the Fridge for holding that as long as humanly possible there. And the Fridge comes in, but not able to hold the third point. Havoc's got 238 to save. The Fridge has some work to do.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just an insane push from Havoc. Things got a little dicey towards the end there. I think they could have manage their ults a little bit better. Like I said earlier, Johnny Crust came in charging onto the point to save it, killing both supports. Twice that happened in that final push up there. So, it would have been nice to see them hold on to some of those supports, regroup, and have one big attack and just kind of, pop everything then and just make sure they really secured it. But, they kind of staggered a little bit towards the end, but ultimately it didn't matter. They secured the point. They got the kills they needed, and they brought it home. So coming into this next fight, like we said, Havoc really likes to play those control points. So this is going to be tough for the Fridge to move on to the point. We'll see what kind of defense Havoc can bring up and what kind of attack that the Fridge will bring.
So 45 seconds left to go here on 45 seconds left to go for the prepare to attack. Prepare your defense's phase. Again, you can't say much about the attacking team for now because the gates haven't opened yet. Beauty of the game, you can't see what they're playing with. Havoc, on the other hand, we have the opportunity to see what they're playing. Again, standard 2-2-2. They're going to bring out the double sniper combo, Foiler and Wolfric. I don't think we've seen much of Wolfric on the Widowmaker, but Foiler's played the Hans before. He's been on and off so far consistently in this game. Foiler needs to be on in this game for Havoc to sweep or to win the series here in a 3-1 fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of interesting for me to see double sniper with the dive tanks. So there's going to be a lot of mobility here. They're going to be able to switch to both sides, maintain that high ground pretty easily. So it's going to be a really interesting battle onto this point.
So here we go, out of the gate. Fridge is going to play the standard 2 again, pretty much the same that they played against Havoc back in the first round of Nimbani. Thunder's going to stick on the Genji, Spazerwatch on the McCree, Cat on the Moira. So again, the Fridge with no mercy to play, and so they're going to be losing out on any reses and stuff. They're going to regroup a little bit to start off here, though, trying to get up the stairs, and Johnny Crust is going to be the first one to play, to charge into the fight, rather. They're going to try here. Thunder's going to try and get a few swipes here. Spazerwatch got the kill on Foiler to start. But right now, Havoc losing a lot of health here. Fridge, K-Birds is going to get the rest on Foiler to come back up here. So it's just a push and shove. Nobody's got ults right now. But the one they got to pay attention to is Wolfric right now. If Wolfric gets any picks here, it's pretty much game over. Wolfric not hitting anything, though, so it's just a matter of push and shove at this point. Right now, a little bit of scattering going on the Fridge side. They're just trying to gather a ball together. Wolfric and Foiler, though, making some good picks, and Havoc's got themselves a win here on the point.
Yeah, Spazerwatch got that early pick onto Foiler, but didn't seem to matter too much. He was able to come back, and, they weren't able to capitalize on the kill and really push in as hard as they needed to. So it seemed like they backed off for some reason a little bit. Maybe they should have pushed in a little harder, but, maybe they'll learn from that, and they'll see, we'll see what they can come up with on this next attack. Coming into it, we do see that Foiler does have the Dragon Strike, but we also see a support ultimate coming in for Cat on the Fridge. So 1-for-1, no real ultimate advantage yet, although it looks like the Fridge is actually coming up on 2 more. So we'll see. Hopefully they can do something with that on their attack coming up here.
The Fridge has that self-destruct as well as the Coalescence to use. On the other hand, Havoc has a Dragon Strike to use, as well as Bakehead coming up with a Primal Rage soon. K-Birds also has a Valkyrie coming up soon, if that is the case over there, if K-Birds gets it up in time. In the meanwhile, the Fridge, again, completely ignores Havoc's Wolfric with that Widowmaker on the other side. Self-destruct comes out, takes down K-Bird, as well. Dragon Strike going to come right down in that hallway, takes down Spazerwatch. So this is going to be a good fight here, as Havoc has themselves quite the win. Quella goes down in the hands of Wolfric, and again, Havoc just showing up here. Fridge, no answers whatsoever, and unfortunately, like a Fridge, they are cold right now against Havoc.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw that Foiler pulled out the Dragon Strike, got the attack, got the kill onto Spazerwatch, which was pretty big. Spazerwatch is a big DPS for them, often gets a lot of kills. So by taking him out early, they took a lot of the oomph out of that attack. So great play by Foiler, and it's back to the drawing board for the Fridge.
But they don't have much time to draw anything on that board. They've got 1 minute left to go here. And again, this is what we've seen so far. Havoc usually likes the control point, and this is why they're doing so well here. The Fridge, again, they like the escort, as we've seen back on Rialto after they won 3-2 there. Their only problem, they got to get a control point first, and they have not won a single control point out of Oasis and Hanamura so far. So we're going to see if they can get something going here. Transcendence is going to be popped up already. Dragon Blade is used. Gets Foiler in the background for Thunder, but not much else there. But again, this is after the res by K-Birds on Foiler. It's a 1-to-1 trade. so far. Self-destruct comes right up on top. It's not going to get anybody. Not going to get anybody there. Clears the point, though. So 30 seconds left to go. Fridge has to back up one more time. And Havoc, again, with another win.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy to see how they defend from that push. You know, you saw an early pick by Thunder with the Dragon Blade, but honestly, it wasn't enough. Maybe need to get a little bit more value out of that. And you saw that Wolfric has also been pretty big on that sniper. They haven't really been able to take care of him. There was a bad dive there from Johnny Crust and Quella. Seemed to be a little bit of a miscommunication. Quella was a little slow to follow Johnny Crust in there.
Final fight here in overtime here. Self-destruct is going to come out in the background. Does get Caber. Some chance of res or no chance of big kills coming up here. Dragon Strike's going to clear out the point just for a little while. At least the Fridge gets the first take here, but the question is the rest. Can they get it down here to the last point? One left takes down Cat. Nobody else is going to be there. Wolfric's going to try and get a few picks. Holding the point now is one left and Wolfric. Overwatch has that Deadeye. Takes down one left as well as Wolfric on the flashbang. And Bryce C, the only one left to hold on to the point. Bryce C's going to get DMF, gets the kill on a Werewolf, and that is going to be it. But what about an overtime push here? And, oh, not yet. I may have called it too early. Cabert is going to get the res on Wolfric here. And again, now Primal Rage is going to DMF Quella out of the control point, rather. And so right now, it is Havoc. Havoc didn't look too good earlier, but now they're looking good right now. They have the advantage on the point. The only one left to go is Johnny Crust here on the point. The question is, can anybody else get there? A Werewolf right in time as the overtime clock started winding down to the point. Now Johnny Crust is going to bring out the Primal Rage, gets the kill on Wolfric, and takes down, Bryce C also takes down Johnny Crust. Last one to go is Spazawat. Overtime clock runs, and Havoc, welcome to the semifinals. They win the series 1. Numbani is theirs to keep, and the series moves on.
Wow, what a match. Well-deserved win from Havoc. They really came back from what honestly I thought had that point wrapped up at the end there in overtime. Quella had that massive self-destruct, picked up a couple kills, and it seemed like Wolfric just couldn't hit those shots. Wolfric was all the way on their own, and you know, they should have had some free targets, but they couldn't make those shots, and it was looking dicey. But then you saw Big Head coming in with the Primal, helping to push things around. The res came off onto Wolfric again, and they were able to stabilize and came back from what seemed like a loss, but they brought it back and they secured the win for them. And like you said, they're on to the semifinals.
So it's going to be Havoc on to the semifinals here. 3-1 victory. We actually have a special guest that came in kind of midway through the game, but actually midway in Numbani, but he's got the sights in on everything. Say hello to Cajun Wise Guy.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, watching this last section here, the Fridge, one of adjustments I would have made, they didn't really... Okay, Havoc is susceptible to mid-range damage, right? They had the Widow, and for the person that was playing Widow was largely just a body shot Widow, all right? You weren't getting radical headshots out of it. She wasn't deleting players before they get on the point. Just doing a journeyman Widow, all right? You're standing off and you're dumping a lot of damage in, and Fridge didn't commit to one style. They didn't commit to dive. They didn't commit to brawl. They didn't commit to mid-range damage. They just kind of scattered all three styles in their comp, and they didn't really make adjustments. And when they rolled onto the point, they weren't focusing an aspect of Havoc, because if you can get Havoc down one or two of their DPS players, it becomes much more manageable. Now, I know this sounds like Overwatch 101, but Havoc does rely... They have great DPS players. Okay, so if you knock out one of their DPS players, you stand a much better chance than... Because all teams, so they may have great healers, they may have great tank players, they may have great DPS players. Well, Havoc has really strong DPS players, so when you take out one of their DPS players, you kind of get a 2-for-1 bargain deal. But when Fridge came on to point, they really weren't focusing any of the DPS players. It's just kind of chip damage everywhere and a lot of poke damage. And you could have easily focused the Widow and knocked him out of play, but they chose not to do that. So that would be the takeaway for Fridge, is when you do your engagements, have your plan, and identify onto Havoc, what is their win condition, and try and focus that as a team a little bit better. Havoc conversely, they did a great job on the defense. They were engaging Fridge early. They were dominating. They were high mobility, so they dominated the high ground, right? You dominated the high ground. You had a Zen there to provide damage, reinforcement, and that's why the Widow could just needed to do body shots. That was the entire plan from the get-go. Throw a Discord, do body shots. Bam. Instant damage. You're really knocking a player down that way. So, Havoc really kind of just executed their game plan. They did not have to adjust to Fridge because Fridge really wasn't rolling any adjustments. They weren't adjusting their comp to adapt to what Fridge was throwing at them. They were just kind of doing in that poke stage. They were hoping that their ult buildup was going to carry them through the fight, not realizing that Havoc was always ahead of them in the ult economy also. So there you go. That's what I saw in my brief foray into it.
All right, so that should pretty much wrap it up unless anybody has any final thoughts here.
I just want to thank you for having me on the casting desk. This was a great matchup to watch. Really enjoyed it. Saw some really great Overwatch, and it was just a pleasure to be here.
All right, a pleasure is all ours as well for everybody watching. Thank you, guys. We'll start wrapping it up here. I believe we're ready to wrap it up here. So that'll do it for us here in the Overtime Champions community. This was the NAPC Division B playoffs here. Our producer was Bradley. Our color was John Kuzak, and our coming in very late on in the production, but nonetheless very welcome, Cajun Wise Guy, our analyst. My name is Klutchki. Thank you for watching. Havoc comes into the quarterfinals, playing on the Fridge. Havoc puts the Fridge on ice, moves on to the semifinals with a score of 3-1.